Ever since writing was invented, people have tried to send secret messages, either because they contained sensitive information or simply because they didn't want just anyone reading them. Back in the day, if you needed to share classified info, your options were limited. You might deliver the message in person under the cover of night, or assign someone to carry it, guarded by soldiers. Neither option was truly secure. The solution? Encryption. Ancient civilizations developed methods to convert readable text into unreadable symbols, something that only the intended recipient could understand. Once you have a powerful state and some mathematical skills rooted in linguistic fluency, you're likely to develop your own form of encryption. And we're not talking about playful secret codes like saying 3 o'clock instead of turn right to confuse outsiders. We're talking real encryption, systems built on mathematical and linguistic principles, the same type of encryption we rely on daily over the internet. If you've ever browsed the internet, sent an email, or used any modern computing device, you've used encryption whether you knew it or not. That little padlock icon in your browser, it means you're sending and receiving encrypted data. Ideally, no one else can see what you're doing. Ideally. In fact, one of the major reasons computers were invented was to handle encrypted communication during wartime. So, yes, encryption is just as important to your digital life as locking your front door is to your personal safety. While Arabs didn't invent encryption, it's been around since ancient times, they revolutionized it. For a time, especially in the Islamic Golden Age, Arabs were the masters of this field. Why? Maybe it was their deep appreciation for language, their advancements in mathematics, or their complex political environment. Whatever the reason, they took the art of encryption to a whole new level. Want proof? The English word cipher comes from the Arabic word cipher, zero. Why? Because zero as a concept didn't exist in Western mathematics until they encountered it through the Arabs. The idea of a number representing nothing was so bizarre to them, it felt mystical, so they associated it with hidden meanings and secrets. Encryption isn't new. It appeared in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia, and Greece, but it wasn't yet a science. It was more like an art, based on shared cultural metaphors or inside jokes. You know how some families have expressions that only they understand? Like saying, the wolf has arrived to mean dad's home? That's the kind of encryption people used back then. This cultural coding appeared in every society, but it lacked formal rules or general applicability, so it's not encryption in the modern sense. Still, early attempts at true encryption existed. In ancient Greece, for example, they'd sometimes write messages on a soldier's shaved head, wait for the hair to grow back, and then send him on a mission. Once he arrived, they'd shave his head again to reveal the message. Not really encryption, more like secret delivery, but it worked. A more formal Greek method was the Caesar Cipher. Wrap a strip of parchment around a rod, write the message across it, then unwrap it. The writing looks scrambled unless it's wrapped around a rod of the same diameter. Simple to break, but clever for its time. The Caesar Cipher, named after Julius Caesar, is a classic. It's basic letter substitution. Shift each letter a few places to the right or left in the alphabet. Example, if you shift A to B, B to C, and so on, the word love becomes MPWF. Only someone who knows the shift can decode the message. It was effective because most people back then were illiterate. To them, this looked like magical symbols or spells. Then came Islam. With the Quran came a focus on language. As Islamic empires grew and Arabs engaged with other civilizations, they pushed advancements in science, language, and mathematics. Encryption evolved with them. The growth of rival Islamic states and non-Muslim enemies gave further reason to protect secrets. The Arabs looked at old methods and said, "This is child's play. We can do better." And they did. A new generation of scholars emerged, writing about Ilm al-Tarmiya, the science of cryptography. Famous names like Ibn Adlan, Ibn Dunaynir, and Ibn al-Durayhim all contributed to the science of secrecy. Side note, many others mastered it, but refused to write anything down, believing that publishing methods of encryption defeats its purpose. Let's explore just one of them. Ali ibn Adlan, a poet and brilliant grammarian. He developed one of the simplest yet clever encryption methods, letter substitution based on a secret poem. Here's how it works. You and a friend agree on a poem that contains all 26 letters without repetition. For example, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. This poem is the key. Each letter in the poem replaces the corresponding standard Arabic letter. So if your original message was, the early bird gets the worm, it might turn into or shofel liya fel haga badri. Only someone with the key, the agreed poem, can decode it. Ibn Dunaynir and Ibn al-Durayhim, who introduced encryption as math, these two thinkers took encryption even further by turning it into mathematics. Their approach: convert each letter into a number, perform a mathematical operation on those numbers, and finally, convert the new numbers back into letters. Example: 2 equals B and 1 equals A, and so on. Encrypting Sultan involves turning each letter into a number, multiplying each by 2, then converting the results back into letters. This creates seemingly random letters, but only someone who knows the original number to letter key, the math operation used, can decrypt the message. This system of data, math, and encrypted data is the foundation of modern encryption. Then came Al-Kindi, the father of cryptanalysis. You can't discuss the history of encryption without mentioning Al-Kindi. He didn't just write about encryption, he invented cryptanalysis, the science of breaking codes. He made two crucial observations: letter frequency. Some letters appear more frequently than others. TH and E are used heavily due to the prevalence of the word, the. Also, most ciphers don't alter letter frequency. Old ciphers change symbols, not letter frequency. Using this, Al-Kindi developed the frequency analysis method. Count how often each symbol appears in the encrypted text. Compare it with known frequency distributions of letters in the original language. Guess the mappings between symbols and letters. He cracked ciphers by studying patterns, like how often L appears. His technique was so effective, it remained dominant until World War II. Al-Kindi didn't stop there. He studied which letters frequently occur together, common phrases in official documents, and ways to combine simple ciphers into stronger systems. He wasn't just a philosopher or mathematician, he was the first true cryptanalyst in recorded human history. So, if you're Arab, you can proudly say, cryptanalysis started with us. And this is only the surface. Dive deeper into early Arab contributions to cryptography, and you'll discover a rich legacy of brilliance rarely acknowledged today.